Now restarting. Okay, I'd like to introduce how to connect EV3 to your computer using Scratch via Bluetooth. OS requirements: Windows 10 version 1709 or newer, Macintosh, macOS 10.13, and as I sent you, there are two videos, one for the PC, the other for the Mac. The idea is, when you write the code today, you are not downloading, the program to the brain of the robot, but your computer will be sending commands to operate motors. Also, this robot is sending sensor values to your computer through Bluetooth. Then your computer is connected to the cloud for the machine learning for KISS, and actually you are creating a machine learning model on the cloud. So this is the whole configuration today. So now let's talk about how to connect EV3 to your computer through Bluetooth. So as I sent you this before, I want you to follow all those steps if you haven't done that. So you need to go there to download Scratch link and start the program, turn on. If you first time connecting your EV3 to Bluetooth, then you need to set Bluetooth, also make it visible and making sure the second checkbox is clicked. Then on your PC, make sure your Bluetooth is turned on. Then go this, click on this Scratch. If you are successful, then on the Scratch, click on this add extension icon. Then if you are, then select Lego Mindstorm EV3 extension. By the way, as you know, Scratch programming is developed by MIT. So MIT and Lego company has been working together to create EV3 extension for the Scratch. However, they are keep working on this project. So if you use this extension, you'll find there are many missing commands. So currently, they provide only basic commands. So someday it will be better. Then, after selecting this, if you see this dialog with your device name and connect button, great. If not, yes, some problems. So according to what I experienced, still the systems are not so reliable. Also, we are using many third-party components. Sometimes it doesn't work. So if you don't see this, there are two things to do. I'll explain. So I said slide X, slide this one, troubleshooting slide. If you don't see that connect button, perhaps you will see this dialog. Then you have two solutions I suggest. First is restart Scratch Link. Hover on your mouse there, then exit, then restart Scratch Link program. That's one solution. The second solution is something I found yesterday. I was using Google Chrome browser on the previous camp. I had no trouble. But something happened on my computer setup. I don't know what happened. It didn't work. So I tried different browser, Microsoft Edge. I tried Firefox. It didn't work either. Then I tried Microsoft Edge. It worked. So something, I mean, I tried to Google, the solution why no one said anything, but maybe, if you don't get this connect button to connect to your device, I suggest two ways: restart Scratch Link program or change your browser. So that's the current solution. So this is something quite new. So not many people have posted solutions on the web. But if you find other ways to solve that kind of problem, then please let me know. Then I'll post to the internet community to solve the problems. Anyway, if you see this, great, you are ready. If not, try some more. But don't worry, if you cannot connect to your EV3, don't worry, we can just learn the concept of ML as well as scratch code without the robot. We can just simulate, like fan or yellow background. So if you don't see this, don't worry, let's continue. Okay? Anyway, after you see this, click on connect. Then it's checking the pin briefly. Then you'll see connected. Then click on go to editor. Then what I want you to test is click on this motor block. Just click on this motor block. Then if the connection is well done, then you will hear the motor sound. Okay, so but when you see the scratch window, make sure you see Lego EV3 icon here. Also, Lego EV3 must have green checkbox. So again, this is a troubleshoot slide. Okay, can you send me text if your EV3 setup was okay before today? Can you check? Now I'm seeing your chat window. I'd like to see how many completed the connection. Okay, I see one happy message, finished setup. Oh, so someone also said it worked in Edge. So similar problem as me. Still, I don't know why Chrome was working, then it didn't work. So actually, I installed wireless keyboard during that period. Maybe that caused some problems. So yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it worked in Edge. It worked earlier. It was working earlier, then got connected. Great. Edge as well. Yeah. However, I'd like to say one thing. Oh, I was so happy because Edge was working, but Edge has a problem with the camera. So it does not display correctly, either landscape or portrait. There's no way to change it. So yeah, that's something, I'll talk later. Oh, someone was working but not working. So in that case, if it worked before, the first suggestion is restart the scratch link. If it doesn't work, perhaps you need to change to another web browser. Oh, so okay, I see some messages not working, but don't worry, don't worry. This is the problem for everyone. Yeah, in my previous camp, only around 30 to 40% were able to connect. The rest couldn't connect. So today, for someone who didn't have the connection, our code will be just using the scratch stage. So don't worry. If you have trouble connecting EV3, don't worry. I'll keep trying, the solution. Also, if you find some solutions, please let me know, then I can share with everyone. But also, don't worry. The first goal is to learn about machine learning concepts. So you can continue without the Lego robot today, but I want you to keep working. Okay, so it seems like around 50%, 60% have the connection. So great, it's much better than previous camp. Let's continue. Okay, now, project number 2. Okay, did I stop the? Okay, yeah. Project number 2 is to recognize text to turn on a uh, Lego motor fan on and off. So we are using EV3 motor today for this project number 2, and I will demonstrate the project. So before I do this, I'll go to this, and I'll go to, actually I'll close, I'll close this one too. I go to my login account. The first one has this project. Go to your project. This is about sound on off fan. I show you. Oh no, not sound. Oh, sorry. So I go back to the project. Go to project. So this is about text on a fan. So I'll show you the sample text I entered. So to turn on, we can say, please turn on, can you turn on the fan, turn on, just on, fan on. So many different ways to ask to turn on the fan. To turn off the fan, we can say so many different ways. So this is an example of the beauty of using machine learning. People may say so many different ways. If you use traditional programming, we need to collect all the samples, and we must have very complex, decision, logic in our code, and we have to keep adding new logic, for different ways of asking to turn on the fan. So that's why we collect some samples like this, then we train. So yeah, I already trained. So let's say like hot here. I didn't have that example. Hot here. Then yes, the action would be fan on with 96% confidence. How about Hot, hot, hot. I have never trained that before. Hot, hot, hot. Let's see. Oh, 99% confidence to turn on the fan. How about I'm cold? Fan off. Oh, interesting. 37% confidence. Not that high because I have never trained I am cold. How about just cold here? Oh, fan off. 97% confidence. Okay. So I know I have a model, you know, to recognize some natural language in text. Okay, but that's kind of interesting because I just trained with only 10 samples to turn off. It works. It works. Okay, now let's use it using Scratch. So I I open Scratch and the first thing would be to go to EV3 extension. So I click, I found, I connect. If something wrong, oh, so try again. If something wrong, I can try again. Still something wrong, then I need to restart. I need to restart. Okay, I'll show you how to restart. Just a minute. I don't see that on here. Okay, and I am now restarting Scratch Link. I restart the Scratch Link, and I try again, connect again, connected. Okay, so whenever you have that kind of error message, the first step would be exit the current Scratch Link program and restart and retry. And let's go to editor. If you do this, then you'll find Lego EV3 icon here. That's important. Then this checkbox must be green. Then everything's okay. Then, oh, then just click this one. You don't need to write the code, just click this. Then the motor will be funny. If you hear this sound, you should be happy because according to the statistics, the chances F and F because of the, some issues with Scratch or the browser. We don't know. So no one posted a solution. So again, don't worry if it doesn't work. You can continue this scan. Okay, now I'd like to introduce, to turn on the fan based on the text you entered. So how do you write the code? Yeah, always we start with events. Events, will list how you start your code. So in this case, I would like to start when space key is pressed. Okay, then I'd like to introduce forever loop because we need to keep asking the user to enter the text. So to ask, we use sensing ask. Then the entered text will be stored in a variable called answer. After asking, we need to make a decision what to do. So we need control if else, if then else. since we are using this text on a fan project, click on this, then you'll find, oh, recognize text, then it will return a label. So we are using this one. So since it's return a label or discrete value, we need this equal logic. Then introduce a machine learning model, and whenever you enter something, the value will be stored in a variable called answer. So we plug the question into the machine learning model. So anything you answered will be sent to the trained model through the internet, and it will return with a value, whether it's to turn on the fan or turn off the fan. So what you need to do is, in this case, you need to have the right label. Where can I find? Click on the machine learning model, and you find a label fan on, which was defined when you create the project. So I didn't show that part, but that's something I want you to do that for your own project. Okay, so far so good. I think you ask to enter, then you enter the answer which is stored here. You send the text to the trained model, then the trained model will return a label. If the returned label is fan on, yes, you need to turn on the fan. So that means click on Lego, then let's just do this. Turn on the fan just for 1 second. And then for someone who does not have the connection, EV3 connection, yes, let's change the background to yellow. So let's recreate the background. Click on backdrop, then click on choose paint, select this one. I'm repeating, fill yellow, make it pure yellow, and change the name backdrop to yellow. And intentionally, I'll not change the name of backdrop to white. Okay, then click on the sprite to go back to the program, click on the code. Okay, now for someone who does not have the connected Lego robot, yes, I would like to change the background to yellow. So I'd like to change the looks of the stage, click on looks, then switch backdrop to yellow. So it's like when the machine learning model tells it's time to turn on the fan, actually turn the motor and switch the background to yellow. If not, turn off the fan. So to turn off the fan, the simple way would be make the motor power as 0. Okay, but to make sure in the beginning to make the motor power as 4, right? Okay, so let's test. This program can be started by pressing a space, because this script will be running when space key is pressed. So yeah, let's press this. Then this is asking, Oh, what's, I mean, I need to change that one, but let's say hot here. Then click on this. Then did you hear the sound? Yeah, my motor was turning. I'll do once more. I just say hot. Then so this decision was done by the machine learning model we trained. Now I'll say cold. Cold will just change the background. Okay, it didn't make around. Turn off. Oh, it didn't change because of course I didn't change the backdrop to white. Okay, so I didn't change it. So I changed the backdrop to white, but intentionally I didn't change the name. So default name is backdrop 1. Backdrop 1 is the transparent white background. Okay, so stop the program and press space again. Then I'll say cold. Then the background should be changing to white. The decision was, so the machine learning model understood my command cold, interpreted as to turn off the fan, and we clear the background to white. But some more about Scratch. How do we make the fan continuously turning? So currently, this Lego EV3, as I mentioned, has limited number of blocks, limited number of commands. So yeah, to make the motor turn on continuously, we need to introduce a new concept of broadcasting messages in Scratch. Okay, so we can't use this one. We cannot use that one here. We want to introduce, broadcast, which is under event. So we need to send a broadcast message to turn on. You define, your own name. So turn on. Also, we need another broadcast message. You can, right-click, duplicate. You can have another message, turn off. Okay, so now, if the time is to turn on the fan, broadcast turn on message. If not, broadcast turn off message. Then you need to write the code to handle the turn on, turn off messages. So here under event, when I receive turn on message, execute the following. Okay. So what you need to do is you need to do something like this. And we need to introduce forever loop to keep turn on. Oh, no, the first thing. I'll first make the background yellow, then set power 100, then keep turning on this one. When I receive so I'll duplicate here and we connect. When I receive turn off message, what I'll do would be I will be making the power 0%, and change the backdrop to white. The backdrop one is white. Okay, let's retest this code. So stop the program, and in order to execute the main part of the program, I need to press space. So press space will ask to enter a message. I say hot here. Then what we expect is send hot here message to the machine learning model in Texas, and through the internet I will get either fan on or fan off command. But the correct answer will be fan on. So if this is true, then broadcast turn on message, which will this script receives. What this script is doing is, first, background to yellow, set motor power 100%, keep turning on the motor. And if you hear turn off, then motor power 0, and change background to white. Okay, let's start. So I'll type hot here. Yeah, the motor is keep turning. Now let's turn off. Oh, I'm cold. I type I'm cold. And let's see whether it stops. Yes, it stopped, and the background became white. Okay, this is your next task, and I want you to give you 5 minutes. That means I want you to use the motors if your EV3 is connected. If not, don't worry, you can just delete those parts. Then you can just test without the motor, like hot. Then you will see, background becomes yellow. All right. So this is the project number 2 for everyone to complete. Please start now. And if you are done, please, use chat to report the completion. So in the beginning, what we need to do is, in the beginning, we need to create a project. So to create the project, please add a new project. I can't add a new project because I have 4. So I log in another one using login. And go to projects. Then add new project. Project name, I'll be using text to turn on, turn off fan. So that's the project name. We are recognizing text, and we are recognizing English. Oh, I didn't practice this. There can be some other languages. I don't know. I haven't practiced. Oh, so many different languages actually you can practice to train your model. Okay, then click on create. Then text on a fan is your project. Then click on train. Then add new label. The first label will be fan on. So you list all the commands to turn on the fan. fan of, two labels, two buckets, two groups. So the first example to turn on the fan would be so simple. Let's write turn on. That will be the simplest command. Or you can say, I am hot, and so on. So I want you to, add the way, you would do to turn on the fan. Also add examples to turn off the fan, like turn fan off. Or you may just say off. You may say, I'm cold. You can say, I apostrophe am cold. So, add samples. You need, I believe, at least 6 samples. If too small, then you'll get an warning error. I mean, actually, you'll get an error to add some more. So after adding all those, samples, examples, then train. Oh, so I have only 2, 4, then keep going. You need to go back to add more samples. Okay. Then after that, click on scratch 3. Then make sure first to so make sure to have your project inside here. Then if you are using EV3, add EV3 extension. So then connect. Oh, looks something went wrong again. So maybe I have another connection here, so I need to disconnect this first. Oh, that's another interesting thing I didn't. So if you have this, then perhaps you made another connection with another program. So disconnect that, and let's try again. Let's connect. Oh, still wrong. Then restart the scratch link. So I'm restarting the scratch link, and let's try again. Oops. Yeah. As I mentioned, this is not so reliable, so I'm so sorry, but I'm sure someday it becomes much better. Oh, now can connect. Yes, connected. For me, it took 3 times. So don't be discouraged if you don't have the connection. But again, the purpose of today's camp is to learn about the machine learning concepts and big picture how to connect Scratch and machine learning models. And I believe this is the future way to develop software. So people may think, block-based language like this Scratch is only for children. No. I live in Detroit, Michigan. We have, big auto companies here. About 50% of the code for your current vehicle is written in a programming language like this block-based language. Around 50% of code for your vehicles was generated using Simulink, another block-based language. So I feel this is the future of software development. Much easier to develop code, application code, and you can easily connect other components together to build the final software product. So learning Scratch is good to prepare for the future software industry.